Hello everyone, my name is John Lloyd Mariano, and today we will discuss about interception and depression storage, which is under Chapter 3, Obstruction from Precipitation. First is interception. Interception is the removal of water that wets and adheres to plant foliage, buildings, and other objects above ground surface. This water is subsequently removed from the surface through evaporation. Interception can be as high as 2 mm during a single rainfall event, but typically removes about 0.5 mm during a single rainfall or storm event. The quantity of water removed through interception is usually not significant for an isolated storm, but when added over a period of time, it can be significant. It is thought that as much as 25% of the total annual precipitation for certain heavily forested areas of the Pacific Northwest of the United States is lost through interception during the course of a year. Interception is the process by which water is captured on vegetation such as leaves, bark, grasses, crops, etc. during a precipitation event. Intercepted precipitation is not available for runoff or infiltration, but instead is returned to the atmosphere through evaporation. Interception losses generally occur during the first part of a precipitation event, and the interception loss rate trends toward zero rather quickly. There are three main components of interception. First is interception loss. The water that is retained by vegetation surface that is later evaporated into the atmosphere or absorbed by the plant. Interception loss prevents water from reaching the ground surface and is regarded as a primary water loss. Next is throughfall, wherein the water which falls through spaces in the vegetation canopy or which drips from the leaves, twigs, and stems and falls to the ground. Last is stem flow. The water which trickles along the stem and branches and down to the main stem or trunk to the ground surface. Interception loss is described by the equation L sub I is equal to S plus KET, wherein L sub I is the total volume of water intercepted, S is interception storage, K is the ratio of the surface area, the leaves to the area of the entire canopy, E is the rate of evaporation during the precipitation event, and T is for time. The total interception is dependent on storm duration. As longer duration storms allow more evaporation from the canopy during the storm event. The intensity of the storm also plays a role in canopy interception. However, there is debate as to whether intensity increases or decreases interception storage in canopy. There are factors that affect interception. First is interception storage. The ability of vegetation surfaces to collect and retain precipitation capacity will be the highest at the onset of rainfall when the vegetation is dry, when water is held by surface tension. Next is evaporation. Even when the interception storage capacity is exceeded, water may be lost by evaporation of leaf surfaces, which increases in windy conditions, though the interception storage capacity may be reduced with increased wind speed. Duration of rainfall influences interception by determining the balance between reduced storage of water on vegetation surfaces and increased evaporative loss over time. Total interception losses increase with duration of rainfall, but only gradually, though the relative importance of interception decreases with time. The importance of interception decreases with time due to duration of rainfall and changes in interception storage capacity. Last is rainfall frequency. The highest levels of interception loss occur when the leaves are dry and interception storage is large, so the frequency of rewetting is more significant than the duration and amount of rainfall. Our next topic will be depression storage. Depression storage is the term applied to water that is lost because it becomes trapped in the numerous small depressions that are characteristic of any natural surface. When When water temporarily accumulates in a low point with no possibility for escape as runoff, the accumulation is referred to as depression storage. Depression storage refers to small low points in undulating terrain that can store precipitation that otherwise would become runoff. The precipitation stored in this depression is then either removed through infiltration into the grounds or by evaporation. Depression storage exists on both pervious and impervious surfaces. Impervious surfaces are generally human-made, like buildings, roads, parking lots, bricks, or asphalt, while pervious surfaces include vegetation, water bodies, and bare soil. According to Lindsay, the volume of water in depression storage at any time during a precipitation event can be approximated as V is equal to S sub D times the quantity 1 minus E raised to negative K V sub D, where V is the volume of water in depression storage, S sub D is the maximum storage capacity of the depression, V sub D is the rainfall excess, and K is the constant equal to 1 over S sub D. There are 6 factors that affects depression storage. First is nature of terrain, next slope, third is type of soil surface, fourth is land use, fifth is antecedent rainfall, and last is time. There are empirical estimates of depression storage for storms. For sand, we have 0.20 inches, for loam, 0.15 inches, for clay, 0.10 inches, for impervious areas, 0.62 inches, and lastly, for pervious urban, 0.25 inches. This will be all for this video. I hope you learned something. Thank you.